Welcome everyone to the Incredicast podcast. Post-race, first out of 500 at Martinsville Speedway. This is Incredicast podcast, episode number 17 of season 0. I am Adatar, and I'm here to give you the race recap, and we'll go to DrRelientD after to talk about playoff implications. Starting off, the Penske team dominated the 2 and the 22. Dominated all the way until the ending, but then a caution came out, and that was the first of many cautions. And then the 18 ended up winning and punching his ticket into Homestead. Now we'll give you a rundown of the playoff implications. I'm here with DrRelientD.
Our current playoff implications is that the 18 of Kyle Busch won at Martinsville. So as Adatar just said, he did punch his ticket into the final four of Homestead. So he is guaranteed. Points wise, Martin Truex Jr. in the 78 car, he is ahead by a lot. He's ahead of the cutoff position by 64 points.
Wow.
So basically, he doesn't have to show up to Phoenix if he gets a top 10 at Texas. So yeah,
that'd be pretty crazy. Like he goes to Texas with just like a regular T-shirt and shorts. He's like, "Hey guys, how's the race?"
Cole Pern is going to do some practice laps. And yeah, in third place is the 2 car of Brad Keselowski. He is 26 points ahead of the cutoff position. Which is insane. He got the 2 stage wins at Martinsville, and the stage win at Talladega, and the race win at Talladega. And then the 4 car of Kevin Harvick, he is the last spots. Holds the last spot in the final 4. And yeah, close to him is the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, only 3 points behind him. So I believe that we're going to see a real fight at Texas, and probably Phoenix, but more at Texas, between the 4 car and the 48. And then in 6th place, only 6 points behind the 4 car of Kevin Harvick, and that last spot in the final 4 is the 21 of Ryan Blaney. 2 points behind him is Denny Hamlin in the 11. And then, ironic that we talk about the 24 and the 11 together, but 18 points behind the 11 car, of Denny Hamlin, who is now in a must-win situation, is the 24 of Chase Elliott. And those are your current playoff drivers.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Like, they're very, very close besides Truex, Kyle Busch,
And
Brad, and Chase Elliott in the opposite way.
They far back, but
yeah. Which one of those cautions during Martinsville was Denny Hamlin just plowing through Chase Elliott, and Chase Elliott was like, "My mama always told me if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything." So
yeah,
that's Chase Elliott's words. It made me really cringe, so I wanted to bring that up.
The problem with that is it's not high school anymore. He's actually racing against men. There's no principal that's gonna make him say nice things to Hamlin. So this is a end sport, and if you need inspiration, some random guy named Dale Earnhardt, you can look at him, or like Richard Petty, or even Kevin Harvick,
Yeah.
Who really wanted to talk to Greg Biffle in the Busch Series a long time ago, and so he jumped over his car. But yeah.
Which, speaking of people being mad at each other and Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, I don't exactly know what happened because NBC did not show the start of this fight on the racetrack. Basically, they were not happy with each other, pushing, shoving, brake checking, cheap shots everywhere, according to Mr. Harvick. Which I think they're pretty much over it. Don't know about Chase Elliott and Denny, but the weird thing between the two fights that happened, Denny and Chase were like screaming at each other, and over here you got the two Ford guys talking about it and learning how to not do that again. So,
well, yeah.
Which I mean, I guess it's because they're from the same manufacturer, so they kind of have to be nice to each other a little bit. I don't know.
True though. The main factor that you have to take into account is it's Martinsville. Short track run, it's gonna happen. But the 11 actually wrecked the 24, which that kind of did kill his Homestead hopes, points wise. So he has to win now. So the 4 and the 21, they didn't, crash each other. They were just,
They could have crashed each other, is the thing.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, exactly. But Denny Hamlin, the 3-time champion that he is. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The incredible.
What?
Hamlin's history of crashing other drivers, aka Brad Keselowski in the Nationwide Series, aka everyone and their grandfather. Teammates too, Remember at Charlotte a few years ago in the All-Star race with Kyle Busch,
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. Speaking of Denny Hamlin, though, I want to bring what he put up on Twitter into the spotlight. I will read it, and also I'll put it in the podcast for you guys to read along with me. It's his English class. I've raced nearly 10,000 races since I was 7.
How many championships is that?
Think about this, guys. 10,000 races. He is not an old man. And it's just been since he was 7. So he says, in 10,000 races, today was the first time I ever spun the leader. I regret the outcome.
That is BS. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
I regret the outcome because it was not intentional the way it turned out. Okay, yeah, I'm going to plow into somebody. Oh, I didn't expect him to wreck. But I'm responsible for my own car and take blame. Okay. Nothing I say can turn back the clock. But it's a life lesson, and hope no kids out there who aspire to race thinks that the way you should do it. It's becoming a normal in our sport now, and I hate that I'm now in the discussion as a guilty party, which you've always been, Mr. Hamlin.
Yeah. It's not just now. It was 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so forth.
But I'll move on and hope Chase, his team, and fans will accept my apology. Yes, Mr. Hamlin. All you gotta do is write a thing in your notes on Twitter, and everyone's going to accept it. So
that's what happens when you drive for Joe Gibbs. A nice guy, like Coach Gibbs that he is. He's just wanting everyone to play along and nice. Which it's hilarious because I believe that JGR is the poster child of the organization that there are no teammates. Like, there's 4 people driving for the same team. However, they aren't teammates. Like,
it's true, though.
It's so true. Like, so honest to see the 4 and the 41 working together. The 2 and the 22, I believe, are the best example currently of teammates. And Hendrick, the 24, 88, 48 working together. And then JGR, everyone just hates each other's guts. Like Kyle and Denny. Oh my.
Yeah. But that is basically all from Martinsville that I can think of. Now it's time for the out of the track news. First off, we have Darian Grubb is now announced crew chief for the 24, William Byron for the 2018 season. Pretty exciting, right?
Yeah, no. Darian Grubb, a very, very smart crew chief, smart man, who he was actually a understudy under Chad Canals, which, if you're gonna hang out with a genius, I think it rubs off a little bit. He was the crew chief in 2006 in the Daytona 500 when Chad Knaus was suspended, and he won that race with the 48. He was also the crew chief for Tony Stewart, the 2011 champion, who won 5 races out of 10 races in the chase. So he's a very smart man. Good for him. I'm very happy that he came back to the Hendrick organization after he left and went to Gibbs for 2 years with Hamlin and with Kyle. So yeah.
Yeah, and
good for him.
Now he's going to be in the same roof with that guy again, Mr. Chad Knaus. That's pretty cool. In other news, got an L1 penalty for the 14 car of Clint Boyer, and if you want to talk to them about that, what the?
Yes, I would love to. If you thought NASCAR was going to fix their issues and their BS and their inconsistencies, well, are you wrong today? Clint Boyer, the driver of the number 14 Haas car, driving for Stewart Haas Racing, he received an L1 penalty because the camera mount on his car fell off. Yes, something that he did not control or do even. It was actually proved that the crew did not do it, correct?
Yeah, it is Martinsville.
It's Martin.
So, the car's getting pretty beat up, either in the front or the back.
Sides even.
Sides.
Up, down, left, right, center, middle.
Under the car, in the car, in the driver's brain.
It's just... Poor Clint Boyer. I mean... Oh my goodness. This poor guy can't get a break this year. He's been in position to win so many races, get so many top 5s, and he just had either idiots that shouldn't even be racing wreck in front of him and take him out, or just such garbage happens to this poor guy.
And remember, everyone, he's been quiet all year.
That was pretty funny, I'll have to say.
But a lot of quote-unquote from Kevin Harvick, bent fenders and hurt feelings. Will that carry on to Texas?
Depends who we're talking about. If we're talking about Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick, 2 guys that even though Harvick has a lot of experience in the sport and Blaney doesn't, I don't see Blaney as being the type of guy to hold a useless grudge on a short track racetrack, like that. But with the 24 and the 11, it's possible. It's possible.
Well, if you're going to wreck somebody on purpose, before it'd be like, okay, let's wait till Phoenix, then we'll cream him. Or if we don't do it at Phoenix, he makes it into Homestead, then we'll cream him. But now with these playoff points, if you cream him in stage 1, that means no points for stage 1, stage 2, or the final, and you basically have to win the next one. So
yeah, exactly.
If I was Chase and I was planning on wrecking him, which I believe his crew chief said, watch turn 3 at Texas. Don't know what that means.
It's not turn 4 or turn 1, turn 3.
So I'm not sure why turn 3, but for all of you people that want to buy tickets to Texas, be sure you can see turn 3.
To be fair, though.
Yeah.
To be fair, I do not see Alan Gustafson, the crew chief of the number 24 car, as a guy who's a prophet per se, like Mr. Greg Zipadelli or Sir Chad Knaus, someone who says something and it comes to life before our very eyes. I don't see him as someone,
I see him as the opposite because, like I've heard so many times on Chase's radio, we're gonna win this race. Yeah,
which there is a difference between like giving confidence, like yeah, push, we got this, and then being like him, like with Jeff Gordon a couple years ago at Bristol, taking only 2 left side tires and then running 75 laps on those tires, and then he wonders why they blew the right side tires. Like, oh, what happened? Yeah. Top 5 finish you threw away. Just it was a lack of brain cells on certain days, but still. White man, though.
Yeah, we'll go.
But yeah, for Texas, we have another 1.5 miles coming up. So, first thing to say before we even do picks, before we talk about the race, the 78 is probably going to win, but
we have this thing where we're like, okay, we're not going to pick the 78 till Homestead. Yeah, he might win Texas. There's a good chance.
It's a very, very, very good chance.
He's not as great at Texas as he is everywhere else, but he wasn't that great at Martinsville either, and he ends up finishing second. So, things happen. We can't necessarily tell you that he's not going to win. We can't even tell you that David Reagan won't win this race because it might rain. He might stay out. That could happen. But we're just not going to pick him because we don't want it to be the same guy every week. Which so far in the playoffs, if you had a coin, one side Truex, one side 18, you could basically get all of them.
Basically. And if you had 2 coins with the with the 20 and the 11 on the other one, you could decide all the races until 2030. So
yeah, pretty much. But
Toyota.
But interesting thing with the picks right now, we're currently tied with wins. So that means whoever gets an edge will basically win whatever the heck that we're doing.
Yeah, basically. And we only have 3 races left, so so it's impossible to tie.
Yeah, it's basically impossible to tie again.
But yeah, because his whole entire theme of domination, it brings me back to as we saw, some real racing actually happened this weekend, but it happened
it ended very quickly.
The form of Max Verstappen getting his 3rd career win. He won at Mexico. And Hamilton, he was declared the world champion of 2017. But yeah, for Texas, sir, who are you going to pick?
Well, he's been pretty fast at 1.5 miles, pretty much. I'm going to go with Chase Elliott to redeem his whatever luck he had at Martinsville. So I think Chase Elliott is going to punch his ticket into Homestead and run for a championship. All right, so who's your pick?
Could happen. Yeah, no. He has to get a win. Who advance now? For them, sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if I was gonna. If I stole your first pick, I'm sorry if I did, but has been so close so many times at 1.5 miles, short tracks, road courses, dirt races, moon crater races, whatever you're gonna do. So far this year, he's been close. The 4 car of Kevin Harvick, he is. He has to get a win. He doesn't have to advance currently, but the 48, 11, the 2, or the 48 and the 11 are going to gain points at Phoenix and Texas, and so I see the 4 car going P1 at Texas.
Yeah, what I said before with the 78 not being too great at Texas, but still able to get like top 10s and stuff. I think this is the one that he has to circle. It's usually Phoenix, but this time it has to be Texas. Because, I mean, Phoenix, the 18's been so good there. And it's not really what it used to be for him when he was a Chevy. Like he basically could win every one now, and it's just different for the team. So that could happen for the 4, and for Chase Elliott. Just a little thing to point out. They say that he is the next Dale Jr. of the sport. Where did Dale Jr. get his first win?
That's very true. Texas.
So that could happen. Oh yeah, where did Chase Elliott get his first Xfinity win? Oh yeah, that's Texas. Where did Dale Jr. get his first, well, Busch, but Xfinity win? Texas. So
good on you. Call it like it is.
Yeah, it's something I wish they would do in the booth is like if it was in the Busch era, call it the Busch Series. I don't care about sponsorships or anything. That's how it should be.
Oh, but Adam, it's NASCAR. We don't care about you or your feelings. We care about your pocket. That's all. We care to the companies, to the profitable organizations, and the non-profitable ones that it produces a good image on the sport. What are you talking about?
Now Phoenix will have a grocery store on site, and it's true. I saw that on Twitter. Oh my gosh.
Who thinks of these things?
Okay, guys, we're going to the race. Should we pick up groceries? Oh wait, they have that at the track. So,
who thinks of these things? I will say though, Martinsville did look very, very cool under the lights.
Yeah, I wish it would have ended under those 8 laps. Keselowski was leading. That was good racing, and then it went to just pretty much crap after that. But you know, it happens. We still have to report on it. Hopefully, Texas can do good for us. But in Incredicast news, we have it's happened once before this season. But the man that we hired in the thumbnail has found himself. Mr. Kyle Petty replied to us on Twitter, and he told us we're getting good at finding him. So we're slowly getting noticed by NBC people. We've had a lot of people replying, and they found him in the thumbnail too. So I don't know if that would go to win the shirt or anything.
It should.
Because we're like direct message him, hey, you want a shirt? I know he didn't know about it, but yeah, that could happen. Yeah, we can actually have an actual winner for the shirt now.
Yeah.
So
and also we have to collect and somehow put a copyright on this find people, because NBC now has a segment called Find Dale Jr. I wonder where they got that from.
It was like a day after Kyle Petty saw the Find Kyle Petty, so
yes, and we've had this ever since July, and we've been thinking about it since May. Okay, so.
Yeah, but we started it first. I know you got more money than us, NASCAR. You can't bully us.
NBC, NASCAR will bully whoever NASCAR wants.
It does National Bully Center.
It does not matter. If you drive for the diversity program, i.e., driver, I won't say his name, then NASCAR will bully you. If you say anything that they don't like, they will hire a Russian hitman to come get you and stab you in the neck. But anyway,
yep, that's
Texas. Hope for Texas.
Well, Texas, bye.
We are currently on this little NASCAR train against, but that's all right. Texas coming up. Should be a good race. I'm really hoping so, because I'm tired of these races that it's not really too exciting. Which the Martinsville finish was exciting.
it's just not the good kind of exciting. Not because Kyle Busch won, it's just because it's kind of a cheap move for what the 11 did, and it was just kind of stupid. So.
Yeah, and the 18 and the 78 were there at the end, and it's like, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing these cars this year together. Oh wait, it's
yeah. But we'll get our chance. It is season 0, so we got time to get some more fans in for this little half season, and it's cool to be able to know that we did it. We were able to accomplish half a season. Don't forget, we will be having a final podcast in December the 13th to be exact. There is no current date, no current time, I mean.
It's the 13th, but we don't know when.
We don't know. There is no current exact time. We're going to figure that out the day before, because we're not currently in the same room right now because we have college, so that's great.
Yes, and the problem is that the week before that is the end of final exams, and with myself moving in back home and all that jazz. So, but yes, it is coming up. We have 3 more races to do. Wow,
3 more regular season podcast, I guess that's the terminology.
I'm sorry. I sincerely apologize for not being totally politically correct. NASCAR, don't come after me.
You hear like a gunshot. We need a new analyst for Incredicast. I guess that's what, I guess that's what he would call us, right? Analyst.
Yeah. But his Annika Patrick, if you don't have a job for next year, I mean, hey, we can always use 3 people,
Hey, Kenneth, if you don't have a job either, it'd be great to have a winning NASCAR driver in the booth.
Champion, a NASCAR champion. A real champion, too.
Yeah.
Not like this, oh, good job, you survived until Homestead and you won when 39 other cars wrecked. No, 2003 Winston Cup champion, real champion.
Yeah, you crashed all the other competitors for the championship and you won. Like literally, that's all you got to do.
36 races.
It's like, oh, I'm Martin Truex. I'll just go crash the 18. I'll go crash the 4. I'll go crash the 2. All right, I'm a champion.
Got no playoff points because the 33 is advancing to Homestead. Yes, but anyway, that is this podcast, right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty solid podcast. You can watch all of our other podcasts in the link down below. As you wait for the Texas race will be at 2 o'clock Sunday morning. Not morning, evening. Dang it.
Hey, they have lights there, so.
They could. That'd be awesome.
They have lights at Texas, so. Not like Talladega. Can we talk about that next week? About how come certain tracks don't even have lights yet? My goodness.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to, we can have like certain segments during the postseason, since we can like have like like debates. Like you could be another guy that's like, okay, I want lights at every track. And I'm like, no, it sucks.
Tune in on the 13th for our crazy season 0 finale podcast.
We're gonna have our own banquet.
Doesn't matter who wins the championship. It's gonna be fun.
That one's gonna be nothing about a race. It's gonna be about our season. It's gonna be finally about us because we don't get to talk about our feelings that much. So we're gonna get to finally talk about them.
We don't have a safe space. Okay.
NASCAR is keeping us in their basement. Please get us out. No, Brian France.
NASCAR with the whole agenda, but
yeah,
because
yeah. Which
good on you, Martinsville, for actually adding in lights.
Yeah, pretty
good on you.
It looked awesome. I wish we could have got a burnout, but it was the 18, so I didn't really care about that. But it's you're a Kyle Busch fan, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see your burnouts. Really sorry. I'll give you a Twitter apology. I've been watching 10,000 races since I was 7.
Since I was 3, I've been following NASCAR. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
His burnout celebration, you have to admit, is really cool. How he leans out of the car, how like half his body's out of the car.
Yeah.
He stopped that though for a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
Kyle, if you're listening, please do that again because that is awesome. You know. Even people who don't like you, have to admit that's pretty good. But yeah, this is the post Martinsville podcast, and
stay tuned for the post Texas podcast. Who knows what's in store for that? I'm not like that, but anyways, yeah. Qualifying is Friday at 6 in the morning. No, it's 6 in the afternoon, and if you want to watch qualifying...
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's 6-6. If not, Sunday race...
Qualifying, yeah. Qualifying is at night, but the race is during the day.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I'm so done. I'm so done.
It's NASCAR,
Take it away, Adatar. I can't handle it.
Yeah, stay tuned for the Texas podcast. We will have drinks and refreshments, and...
come by if you want.
As long as... you have a refrigerator at your house, then you can watch it at your house. So that's how we'll have refreshments.
I can't.
No, it's the AAA 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see you there, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is the Incredicast podcast. Signing out of the Martinsville Speedway. Congratulations, Kyle Busch, on punching your ticket in the Homestead. We'll see you at Texas.